Heaven I too.
Heaven
Big up to all of the eyes that's tuning in. We are gathered with this meeting today to share some thoughts in regards to the importance of oneness within a family. So all of the eyes are welcome, just come well. So pretty much we've done a couple videos in regards to the importance of family, though we haven't really touched on how family must specifically be on one accord, oneness. Seeing like literally the same page. Is it about to rain? No. The same page, the same paragraph, the same sentence, the same word, the same letter. So what's some of y'all thoughts on that? Because I want us to all just really just elaborate and just share what's in your heart, or what do you know and feel about the importance of oneness for a family.
I know that out here when you're with the earth, that family is like the only thing you got really. We don't have any friends in our family. We don't have any friends in our sphere. But we do have family, and it works very like synergistically or harmoniously when all of the family is expressing the same vision and the same mission, and they're all also striving in their higher I, meaning like in the illusion of separation. We talked about this yesterday. It's very important for each person to do the work to strive for the higher I. It's like this waterfall coming up.
I think there might be rain in upper higher into the mountains, so it's not raining right here, but the water is getting stronger. Anyways, I hope that everyone can hear, because it's very, very vital for us, for our sanity and our well-being, to have true family. True family, not just family that's claiming to be your brother or your sister, but there's truly no familiarity. You know what I mean? Like, family is literally your lifeline, as I said in a previous video. Though, what I've realized is that just as our environment or the food that we partake in, or any energy that we indulge in, the people you have in your circle are vital to your well-being. So it can't be a thing where there's literally like a bunch of like different personalities clashing. The personalities must merge. For example, we have like they talk about the Andromeda galaxy colliding with the Milky Way or something. I'm sure everyone have heard of this. It's symbolic though, if you really sight. There's a bunch of different universes, like different systems of stars, right? Though in essence they're all just fully like channeling one source. And it's what keeps the flow. So what does Blue Umi feel in regards to this, like, and from your experience and just along the journey, like, how important is that, like, to truly be on one accord? Or do you know, touch on that?
It's very important to be on one accord. I know a lot of people think about duality. They think left, right, up, down, north, south, and things of that nature. But duality there comes a point where duality has to be done away with. And there's a middle path, really one path, one bed, one sound, one vibration that we all must be on the course with. for harmony, for balance. Really vital.
That's so true. And what I even cited, and what we all know innately, is that true oneness can stand the test of time, this illusion of time. When you don't have oneness, you're going to be stuck in the illusion of time, meaning the relationship might falter, the friendship. And as Zion said, we're not like worried about having friends or being accepted. We will love and we hope to have true family. Family is essential, no different than the air you breathe. So, go ahead.
Okay, and this is another aspect that I was thinking about, like pertaining to family, is the land is also our family. When we say we should be familiar with the land, that means we're family with the land. When we're familiar with the different, like, non-human family around us, that these all plants, this water, this land is our family as well. And that is acknowledging that the land is also, like, it has the same spirit as us. The land is our family too. The birds, the trees, the monkeys, we eat with our family on a regular basis.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's a fact. Y'all keep going. I think I see something.
To touch more on what everybody was saying, family is very, well, oneness in a family is very, very important. In fact, you can't have a family without oneness. And I know, not even a feeling, but I know for a fact in the world, we say things like we have family and family is this and everything, but really truly is really no family because things are very disorderly. Because there's a lot of different personalities and arguments come from having different, thinking that we got different personalities. We think it's the thing where everybody said like, what did they say? Or what have we said? Love me for who I am, or everybody can have like their different perspective when we see things in different ways. That's not representative, or that's not a good presentation of a true oneness and true family. And it's not necessarily the autonomy, like
a sovereign kind of autonomous family structure.
Yes, true autonomy isn't with the individual personality.
It's as a community, as people together.
Community.
Like, it's something that I would say before. I think I wrote it before, is that our identity is found in the land, our identity is found in the family. So you know when people say stuff like they get married or they get in a relationship and they feel like they losing themselves, or they're losing themselves and when they have children, I see it, or I feel we all see it differently. Wow. The reverse. Like this, we actually find your identity.
But then that just shows that's why marriages don't last. You'll feel like somebody's making you lose yourself, then are you even truly becoming married?
Right.
That's so deep. That's wow. Because what do I always say? Marriage is merge. What is marriage? You know, when you were in the South, in Babylon, in the States, when they be like, oh, them 2 days they about to have a merge. Like, it's a merging. When two become one, when two or more become one, and it's not just for husband and wife, by the way. Brother, sister, cousin, mother, father, a true, as we say in Seagull language, we don't call it like a community so much, or even a home. We call it privilege. It's vital to have a true privilege, because if you want to live beyond the ages, I must be in a privilege. Yeah, man. So they probably don't hear some of the sounds we're making. When we speak within Seagull language, it's a tonal invocating language. where we engage the land. That's why it's called land gauge. So we incorporate several click prostinates. We are related to different indigenous groups that's found around the protinate, continent. So certain things you'll hear it might not, but either way, it's not about that. We're simply just elaborating on why everybody must be on one accord to really get to this origin of like egalitarian like structure. When we don't have oneness, this is where you have leaders arise. Even within mammal species in nature, if you think of like a lion, if you think of a salame, sira. Yeah, so if we think of lions, for example, or other type of mammals that might be carnivores or plant-based, like gorillas or colobus monkey, it may appear that you have like a alpha or whatever. Even with hyenas, the female will be the alpha in that scenario. Though even within these mammalian family structures, y'all notice that it's still somehow egalitarian. There's a oneness, there's one aim, one sight, one vision, one intention. The tension that's within, like the friction that's like giving you the burning desire of living.
I'm gonna go over. It's just a quick comment. So it's like you have a respect for everybody and their role, and you're not trying to be the role of you're not trying to like be in the role of the boss, which you are. I don't know how to explain.
We all bosses.
Trying to be leaders, exactly.
A true leader make other leaders.
Yeah, but each person is leading in a different way, and we respect how each person leads in a different way towards the same mission.
Pure fact. All of us is alpha, so to speak, but then again, we're deeper than that. This is the source of life. We represent the higher I. I is for Aya. You know what I mean? So it's deeper than just being alphas. We're actually the alpha and the omega. We are the yang and the yin. The masculine and the feminine. You was about to say that? Yeah, we are the alpha and the omega.
I would.
It's the einity. It's being on one heart. One eye and one heart. You know what I mean? It's not the, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So, it's vital. It's very vital. It's Kosaita. You know, we represent the Nikosi seat of Seagull Empire, though even though the empire is comprised of several seats, that don't mean our seat got a different site than another seat. No, it's one seat. That's why we see it. We see things for what it is. You know what I mean? We have several, you know, big up to the Baba, Mikael. Big up to my youngin, Ra'a Sen. Young kings coming up. Bring up to the queens, the empresses, Sapphire. You know what I mean? Big up to Nala. I'm a Mumidat, you know? Naturally, man. Yo, we have to be on oneness. That's it. That's the order of the new earth order. Period. We don't have to have fights. I don't have to be arguing with nobody. Nobody have to be arguing with each other. When we're on one, like it's just one channel. We're channeling the same higher I. So even if there's personalities, it's not conflicting. It's like it's no different than how in the Milky Way there's probably a sun, another sun, a star in another nearby solar system that's complementing our solar system. They're not like clashing. We know everyone has like energies or whatever. I know many of us get caught in like this astrology stuff. Though the deeper we go, it's even beyond this astrology thing with or the astrology that's presented to the world. The world ended. And Seagold is one of the first to even bring this idea forth. Many people have said Babylon is falling. Who realizes now? This is a question. If anybody that cites this, because this chat is amongst us, though it's also with the viewer. So anybody that cites this, comment if you're able to cite that the world actually ended. Now all there is what it is. Like literally. So, and to be honest, the further we go, there's nothing to even say at this point. Who knows it, feels it. Who knows it, feels it. We be thinking that the heart represents like the feeling. Actually, the heart is the knowing. Your mind is what's giving you the stimulus, like the feelings. No, think about that. We'll think the brain is what's making us know stuff.
Right.
Your heart, the insight. It's not even sight, it's beyond sight. Yo. Yeah, man, like, let's keep going forward on just one accord. Because when you're on one accord, it's a chord that's linked to the source of life.
And it's singing a love song. On one accord is love. Oneness is love.
Pure fact. That's a fact.
One more thing.
How?
With the, like another importance of family being on one accord. I always bring up children when we talk about this. I always bring up children because if you grew up in a area or environment where it was no real oneness there, and then all the arguing, the back and forth, people are arguing, or we're fighting ourselves, so then we start fighting each other, and then the children come out fighting everybody and themselves, and then it just creates like people same cycle going.
It's repeated and repeated.
Yeah.
Imagine this. Everything is just on one accord, like how we always been for the past million so-called years. This creates generations, like it creates a good ration of your genes to where everything is just expressing the same essence. Now, when you don't have this identity, it doesn't stand the test of time. You just have discombobulation. It's destructive. It's toxic. It compromises the integrity of your life and your livelihood. The more we grow within this oneness, like it literally gives you more life. We always say Maisha Zaidi, I have I. Now, this simply means like more life within us having oneness. I have I. I of I.
One of one.
One of one. So even when we think of the binary code in the 0 and the 1, it's actually like we don't have a left hand and a right hand. It's just hands.
Or a left brain and a right brain.
It's just the brain.
The sounds is just even representative of that oneness, because there's very many this same mini waterfall, if it can be seen on the video. I hope it can, so you guys can even see a glimpse of the beauty of what we must be around. But like, it's symbolic because this water is in unison. It's in unison with everything within that immediate space. It's communicating with the air. It's communicating with the ground. It's communicating with the wildlife. There's many stuff going on within this bush. The plants is giving more, and it's even receiving. It's, you know, water is the most conscious, but the most insightful essence. It's not even really called water. It's kind of even like, it's fire, water, air, it's everything. Yeah, man, we just got to be full of thanks and have that intention set into the universe to truly merge. We've merged, though the merging, the knowing and the feeling of the idea of merging, that's the seed. Though the seed must grow. We don't just stop at the knowing and the feeling. Like, it's a becoming. into being. And I'm sure each of us here can admit that maybe our childhood wasn't in full representation of this essence that we are by nature. Like each of us maybe have went through what anybody that's watching have went through. We all went through some confusion, and we don't want to fuse all of that that negativity. This is a profusion and the provision of the Most I, the higher I that represents all of I. In every single path, I know everybody, there's a bunch of different movements or waves. You see, even within a wave, which is simply a frequency, that's what a wave is, like a sound wave. Water is sound. Everything is just a wave. It's a vibration. So with all these different waves, it's all still this. Every single, even if y'all think, any eyes that's sighting might think, oh, they're doing it this way or that way. There's no other way but this. It may sound like an ego trip. It may sound like cocky. We must be confident. It's clear as day that what other path is there to take? There's many different life directions. There's many different roads, many different paths. Though every single journey is leading up to becoming merged with the source of where everything started. And to deny I and I is to literally deny yourself of life. And you're right, the one song, like you previously said something in regards to like a one song.
Yeah.
It's that's what the universe is. That's why we don't say you. We got to get away from the you idea. You is just two eyes linked at the root. So the universe is one verse, one song. It's only I. You don't have two eyes. You have one eye. Every eye is I. So purifaction is when you have a pure fact ion. So when we know the ions are just pure facts. Ooh, I like it. I love this. We even got to get away from the idea of like. I said like too much already. We love. We don't need to be liked, accepted, and have friends and be cool and popular. We are full of love. That's it. Which in Seagull language is called Hav. I of I. I of I is pretty much to say I love you. But simply to say love is Hav. It's similar to like in Hebrew, they would call it Ahav, Ahava, but we call it Hav. You was gonna say something?
I was, but
Go ahead.
it left me.
Oh, it might come again.
It might.
Any add, addition, multiplication, any math, so we can have more ma'at.
But I also think of oneness. I think of, like, I imagine this gigantic mirror that even if this mirror shatters into all these different pieces, it's still that mirror. Like, even though the pieces may be cut a little bit different, they may be shaped a little bit different, and things like that, at the end of the day,
It's the illusion.
it's an illusion. It's still that
It's still
mirror.
showing you the same oneness.
Do you
It's showing you that same oneness.
Does Blue Umi remember saying this to I on the island? This exact thing that you just said, you literally said that on the island. Like, I remember that. That's one of the key things I remember that you said, and it resonates. It resonates because resonating is simply like a reason that's innate. A reason innate.
I remember what I was going to say now. I was going to say, when thinking of oneness and family, when it's true oneness and true family, it's like we were talking about, like when traveling or something. It wouldn't matter where you at, no matter what you're surrounded by, if you got real oneness and true family, like surrounded, that's where security then comes into play. And it's like no matter what is going on out there, everybody is still good and tight, and it can't be like taken apart. It can't be what they say in the Bible. What God brings together, let no man tear asunder.
See, when man with their own persona, when they come together with their own thinking as a man, as a human, a woman and a man, we don't want to be men and women. We want to just represent God. That's it. But like when we come together with those personas, this is where it's not brought together by God, because God represents oneness. When it's brought together by God, it will go beyond the illusion of time. This is when you enter reality. Time is not the reality. That's the fallacy. And we all know this. We just pretty much reiterating things that we knew and we always knew. Though it's still good to even reiterate from moment to moment, because it keeps you present in that thought. It's so easy to return to the slumber. It's hard to remain. Life is hard, man. It's hard to remain living. It's easy to die. Many people believe they're gonna die. That's easy. Who knows that they're gonna live? Who knows that they will live and they will be here? Eternal life. Who knows that, wait, I'm actually like this tree. These trees are like 400 according to so-called Babylon time, but actually they're beyond time. Who knows that they can live like a tree? The trees have eyes, and I must be like trees, grounded, like bendable and able to like go with the subtleties that's happened, the ebb and flow, like to go with the subtleties that's occurring in life and not be disturbed by the ebb and flow of this reality.
I remember once when I first started talking to you, to all of us, and we asked, what is your vision? And I said, it's security, like family, like being rooted, like a forest of trees. A forest of trees is all family, and they're linked at the bottom, they're linked in the middle, they're linked at the top.
It's even interesting, even if you notice certain trees, some trees be leaning a little bit, and then it's another tree that they leaning on, so it's not like, it's not falling. So,
I'll be your friend. How it go? I even went to Eastside High School in Babylon.
I was about to say, you went there.
Lean on me.
Of course you was there.
When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll be your family.
Right, not friend.
Faction. Yeah, naturally. And you said secure. You said your vision is security, but that's simply seeing the cure. Secure. And to have the cure, we must have unity. I'll be your friend. That shoulder to lean on me. No, we're all strong. A family is only as strong as the so-called weakest link. What that mean? Everybody got to be strong. So we say that to say this. Guide I, heal I, grow I. Maisha Zaidi. I abide.